Carol and Cheryl, Cheryl and Carol, Carol and Cheryl.
Hello, welcome back to Conversations with Carol and Cheryl. Hi, Carol.
Hey, Cheryl.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Did you happen to hear the sad news about Chrissy Teigen lost her third child?
No. What happened?
Yeah. Well, she's married to John Legend, and she was expecting her third child. I was following her. I stopped following her because she was posting so many recipes and different things like that. I'm just not that into. But I did happen to catch that she was pregnant, and I was really happy for her. But then the next thing I know, my daughter says, "Did you hear about Chrissy Teigen?" And she lost the baby. Yeah, very sad. I'm not exactly sure how far along she was. I know that, she had the baby bump. So I went to her social media page, and it's pretty sad. The reason I'm bringing this up is because she posted a picture of her on the side of a hospital bed. She looks like she's crying and praying. And it's very sad. And I don't want to judge at a time like this, but since we had talked about that documentary, Social Dilemma, it made me think of this. I don't get people posting such intimate details about their life. My stance was I didn't think social media was a bad thing. I still don't, but I do have to wonder if people feel like they're doing things for, on a stage and that they have to post it. I just thought it was very bizarre. In any case, she posted herself getting an epidural, and then she posted her on oxygen with her and John Legend holding hands, and he's leaning on her on the bed, which I was really taken back. There's a picture of them with, it looks like a little baby swaddled. So I guess they had to take the baby, and it didn't make it, which is so sad. So sad. I just thought that's pretty intimate and kind of odd because there's someone across the room from them taking that picture and they're going to post it. So did they take it for that reason? Because would you really take a picture of yourself mourning, but someone's taking the picture of you mourning so that you can post it? I think that's weird. What do you think?
I think that it interests you more than the recipes.
Yes. Good point.
I don't really know their motive. I agree with you. Losing a baby seems like a very private, intimate event that you wouldn't want to share with your fans. I don't really know what's appropriate and what isn't myself personally, but I go by what Breanne Brown says about this. And basically she says, people need to earn the right to hear your story. If you're sharing that with everybody, you're oversharing. And she calls it floodlighting. So the reaction of people, I'm sure if your daughter took a picture of your face when you were looking at the post, you would look like somebody just put a floodlight into your face, like a deer in the headlight look. That was probably your reaction to it. Horror. It did stir a reaction, and maybe you were compassionate and you could empathize. Maybe you could relate if you lost a baby. But I don't think it's appropriate to post that on social media. At least for me, I'm not going to post my most intimate details about my emotions on my Facebook page. I might share that with you. You're my close friend. You've earned the right to hear my story. But the number of people who have earned the right to really hear my story is maybe 3 or 4 people. And I'm 58 years old. It's not that many people. So again, if her motive is, hey, fans, this happened to me. I know this has happened to you. I'm being authentic. I'm sharing this for those who have had the similar experience and you know the pain and you can comfort me. But normally when people overshare, it's because they're trying to strike a connection with somebody, but that never works. You don't connect with somebody by oversharing, according to Breanne. And I've tried to practice that, and I think Breanne is right.
My personality is I'm more taken back about her sharing this than feeling the pain that she's trying to convey. I'm a fairly private person. She's always been very open. She tells her fans everything. She speaks her mind. So does she feel like she's that connected with her fans? Okay, let's say she does. Great. That can't be that healthy. They're not your friends. They're not your family. They're your fans. But to share that with them, I think it's misguided friendship, misguided loyalty. I don't know. I just find it very weird. And so that's the one thing I do find odd about social media. And I know like young kids will post things to their boyfriend and their girlfriends. And it's like this long text. I call it a text, but it's actually, I guess, long post, not text, but really long post. You came into my life. You made my life wonderful. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be, whatever. Why would you post that for the world to see? If you truly mean it, you would send that as a text, or you would tell them, or you would write a letter. So I think sending these feelings via posts are so bizarre. I would be turned off. If I was in a relationship and a guy sent that via a post on Instagram or whatever else, it's just like buying you a piece of jewelry so that everyone can give him kudos. Oh, you're so sweet. That's so nice. God, what a good guy you are for buying that, I've always been, this is a red flag for me before social media. Anytime a girl would get flowers at the office, stay away. That's a show to say, look at me. Has nothing to do with the woman. The woman is just the, avenue to get there. Red flag, big time.
That's funny because the first time that I slept with Butch, I sent him flowers to his office.
That is hilarious. Did you really?
Yes.
That's funny that you would send him flowers. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a flip, I guess, but that's funny. Yeah, no, that's a huge red flag for me. And anyone that comes in
He
calls
didn't pick up on it. He didn't pick up on the red flag.
Well, just like anything, it's not always 100%, but
I know, but
in
funny.
general, that's a red flag.
Well, I was going to say, what is the desired end result from posting that? So if that's your fans, this is what you're going to receive. You're going to receive a bunch of heart clicks and caring clicks and my condolences, my prayers, I'm so sorry for your loss. You're going to get that 1,000 times. Are you really connecting with each one of those people?
I think it gets distorted. It's like a stage or something. I don't know how to describe it, but it's distorted. It's weird. That's the best thing I can say. The whole thing is just you putting that out there and all these strangers telling you that they're sorry. It's just very odd to me. I don't know. It must be feeding something, but I just think about these celebrities and her at home, their kids. You know how parents are saying, put the damn phone away? I mean, these kids are growing up with their parents filming everything, filming dinner, filming them around the house, looking at the phone, talking into it. It's like these parents are on the phone constantly performing in front of the phone and posting. It's got to be weird for a kid.
I mean, I just don't think it's appropriate. I don't know what question it's answering. Like, what are you getting from that? I think probably you feel more alone than ever before because I don't think it's a real connection.
Right. Well, and then, they're getting money for this. They're getting money for the number of followers they have, I think, advertising things. And it's just all very bizarre. They're selling their lives now. They used to come on shows, do talk shows, do things like that. Then there was reality shows. And now I guess with social media, they're selling their lives. You're a voyeur, and they're getting paid to do it.
It's like tabloid TV, tabloid newspapers. What is the most shocking thing that you can put out there?
No, I love those.
Well, obviously, you're not reading the recipes. So it does work. It does draw in an audience.
So before social media, I had the Inquirer and the Star. Now, I never used to go with the ones like, Three-Headed Alien, The Examiner lands and, has baby with Oklahoma woman, But I had like the Star and the Inquirer. And those were really juicy, It was like you just got enough in those. And now social media, it's too much. You got them on the toilet. You got them, stepping out of the shower. You got them in their hospital bed. There's nothing alluring. Like you're not getting tidbits. You're getting the whole thing. Because I used to love those magazines.
I never read one.
Well,
Sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. But it's funny is everyone always thought they were lying. The people that didn't read them were like, "Oh, that's ridiculous." Well, I'm here to tell you that they really weren't. There was a lot of truth to those. Anyway.
I believe that.
But then I started feeling guilty when Princess Diana died. Then everyone stopped buying them, and I kind of lost interest in it. And then Cardi B's daughter has her own Instagram now. We'll see how that pans out. But I was so pro social media. This is my negative part. I watched a movie last night.
What was it?
I watched Blue Velvet by David Lynch. Weird. Guy would, in an oxygen mask, inhale some kind of drug and really violent sex with her, and not even sex. It was weird. Anyway, there's where you're getting the envelope pushed, and I still stand by that. But yeah, Blue Velvet was weird. And I remember back when hearing it was really controversial. So I watched it last night, and yeah, movies I think are pretty weird.
It was so nice seeing you and your son last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I love the visit. That was amazing.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Our dinner, that was so good. I haven't eaten in that restaurant in 30 years. I'm sorry that our visit got cut short.
Oh, no problem. It was for a good cause.
Yeah, so I'll tell the listeners what happened. So we're at the beach. We had a really nice dinner on the boardwalk. It was late, though. I think by the time we got done, it was, 9 o'clock at night?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, for me, that's late. That's my bedtime. We're walking on the boardwalk down to get ice cream, of course. And there's a female police cadet. It turns out she's 20 years old because I did talk to her later. And there was this kitten. Well, I don't know if you'd call it a kitten. It was a young cat, definitely under a year old, probably under 6 months old. And it was just sitting on the corner of the dune and the boardwalk, and it was crying. And there was really nobody else on the boardwalk except for us and the police cadet. So here's a little taste of what we heard, because I did take a video. We hear the cat and we see the cat, and I don't know what happened to me, but my heart just sank.
So did mine.
What is it? It's this helpless creature. So adorable. I don't know if I have abandonment issues or something, because I was acting like it was me in the dune and needed to be rescued. Please, I'm starving. It's cold. Dogs have been chasing me all day. Come and get me, please. Even your son was so funny. He's like, I don't really like cats, but oh, it's so cute. He was cracking me up.
It was so sad. It's not like I'm not a cat person either, but that to me sounded like a cry. It wasn't just a meow, 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 meow. I mean, it was like, help me, help me.
Yes, it was like a desperate cry for help.
Yeah.
So luckily, taken in a full moonrise with one of my dear friends, Jamie, and her friend Joy. And luckily, they're cat rescuers. Like, how crazy is that? So I call her. You were there. I call her. I'm like, please come and help. Please. This is awful. You have to come. And of course she did. She came, and Joy came with the carrier and the cat food. They start to try and lure the cat into the carrier. And I would say within 5 or 10 minutes, she got it in the carrier. But the top of the carrier was not closed all the way, and the kitten popped out of the top. And then for the next 2 hours, we tried to get the kitten in the carrier.
Oh, my God.
So at some point, you left, right? You had to go back.
Yeah, we were driving back that night. So once everyone arrived, I was done with my part.
And I felt so guilty for not walking you back to your car and having a nice goodbye and all that good stuff. But I think you understood that we were in a crisis,
Well, I felt guilty for leaving before it was caught.
No, that was fine. Everybody understood. You had a 3-hour drive. It wasn't a big deal. So basically what happened after you left was we're sitting on the bench for 2 hours trying to get the cat, and another police cadet came over. Police cadet Drew. And he said that he had been trying to catch it for about 2 weeks, that it had been living in the dunes for 2 weeks. And I said to him, well, if we catch it, do you want to keep it? And I was hoping he would say yes, because I couldn't take it. I mean, I have a ginormous German Shepherd, and the kitten rescuer people already have a ginormous pack, and their pack was with them on this vacation that they're on. So they couldn't take it. And he was like, yes. Yes. He was so relieved that we weren't taking it. I was so relieved that he's taking it. We're sitting there, and Jamie's with the cat food, enticing the cat. It would come up, it would run away. It would come up, it would run away. So I moved over to another bench, and I was talking to the young female cadet, and she's like, how does she know what to do? And I'm like, she's the kitten whisperer. She just knows. She's been doing this her whole life. And she's like, well, what are you going to do if you don't catch the cat tonight? I'm like, we're not leaving without the cat. We're staying here until we catch it. I don't care if it takes 3 days. We're not walking away from the situation. And I think she was so relieved. Like, finally, there's an adult in the room that's taking control and is going to fix this thing. So, long story short, Jamie captures the kitten. We get it in the carrier. Drew takes the kitten. And what was really good was she gave him directions on what to do, because I wouldn't know what to do. And she told him to put it in a room where it can't hide. So the bathroom. Lock it in the bathroom with a kitty litter, food, a drink. And I guess he had another cat. She recommended keeping that cat away from the kitten in case it had some kind of communicable disease. Take it to the vet and have everything tested, make sure it has its shot. So you don't want to give your existing cat a cootie. Like, I wouldn't even have thought of that. And then she said, just go in and let it come to you. Just talk to it nice. And so the next day, I guess they were in contact so that he could return the carrier. And he said the cat was already coming up to him, rubbing up against him. The other cat in the house didn't have a problem with it. Basically, everybody lived happily ever after. I mean, it was just such a good, feel-good story. But the part that I didn't tell you, yesterday, when I was walking on Olive Avenue, and you and I had walked there on that street. I don't know if you remember, there was sort of a park with a little bit of water. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I was walking by there yesterday, and there's always an osprey there. So I always stop and sit on the bench and watch the osprey. Well, yesterday there were 2 bald eagles. And that was about 4 blocks from where this kitten was. And I can guarantee you that kitten would have been eagle food if we didn't catch it. That's what I was thinking yesterday. Like, wow.
Right.
So that even made it a better story in my mind. Like, wow, we did a really good thing. This was really good.
That's so neat. And I was so glad to hear what you're supposed to do, because I was thinking that too. Like, what the heck do you do with an animal that's not domesticated when you bring it home? So that was good advice.
I mean, it sounds so intuitive, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You know, Drew was off for a week. That was the other great thing about the story, is he was off of work for a week. I don't know why. I guess he was on leave or something. So he got to spend the whole week working with the kitten and acclimating it to his house. But if I run into him, which I'm sure I will, I'll try and get a picture or an update to the story.
That's neat. It's almost like it was meant to be, the idea that he was off for a week.
Yeah.
When we saw the cat, all I could keep thinking was, if we catch that cat's going to be in a warm house on somebody's lap, because you always see those rescue animals that are so loving, you know, and just so appreciative. I was like, okay, this is the difference. I could kind of see the before and think of the after. And I was like, that little thing's going to be in someone's home if we catch it. And just so thankful, and, you know, on a warm lap, and so cute.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it worked out. And it's like I said, it seemed like it was meant to be, with that guy being off a week and him coming up while you guys were catching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
And he was such a nice guy, too. Anything new with you?
I have my Apple TV and I have an Apple phone. And I think I showed you my Snowfall app that I love so much. Mm-hmm. Well, every fall I try to find a fall one. The same guy that does the app with the snowfall did one for autumn. And oh my gosh, I love it. So I'm just going to suggest it for the people out there. The snowfall for the winter one is called Peaceful Snowfall. And it says HD for high definition, I guess. And you can pick the music, like Zen music or Christmas music. And there's like all these different Christmas scenes. And you can pick the amount of snowfall, the size of the flakes. So on my TV in my living room, it's just kind of like moving picture. It's really beautiful. Anyway, he has one called Autumn Ambience HD. And that's how you know, because there's a lot of different ones. But this one is from the same guy. And I think it's fairly new, because I've been looking for it for a couple years. And I have never been able to find one like this one. It's all these beautiful autumn scenes. And you can pick the size of the leaves falling, the rate they fall. And it's just beautiful. And it's very soothing, very relaxing. You could put it on your iPhone and put it by your desk. And anyway, so I just wanted to recommend those, because we had talked about how we reset our buttons, and you're much more physical at resetting them, and I'm much more sedentary.
Not that there's
My
anything
ass
wrong with
shows
that.
So anyway, I just thought I would pass those things along. I always feel like a little information goes a long way. If I enjoy something, I like to pass it on. So
yeah,
it literally takes you away from everything. I mean, at least it does me. The music's playing, and I just love to look at the scene and just sit there in peace and quiet. I love it. And the fall one is gorgeous.
I'm so happy about the kitten. And I'm glad that we figured out not to overshare too much on social media.
Right.
Good advice.
I'm going to threaten it, though, if people don't follow. Maybe that's the catch.
Look, if we're not getting enough listeners, we're going to do something really dramatic.
I'm going to take a picture of my armpit. Well, I hope everyone enjoys the apps, and I hope the little kitty's fine and that you'll update us. Don't overshare.
Don't floodlight me, please.
Yeah, I love that expression, floodlight.
It's so true.
It is true, because the eyes go and the mouth drops. Yeah, no floodlighting.
All right, Cheryl. Well, have a good week. I'll see you next week.
Okay, take care. Bye,
All
everybody.
right. Bye-bye.
Carol and Cheryl, thank you. Carol and Cheryl, thank you.